Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are in our next round over here for the StarCraft 2 World Championships. Nope, can't say that anymore. Feels bad, man. It's the ESL Pro Tour Weekly NA number 5. Not feels bad, man. We didn't have content like this back in the day. In the bottom right, spawning as the red Zerg player. You know him, you love him. He's Pig. He faces off against the blue Protoss player. I believe I got confirmation this is Chinese Protoss. He is nice. Or as I should say, he is noise. Noise. Breaking people's headsets over here. That's what we do over on Nate's channel. Just hanging out, having a nice Sunday, covering some StarCraft. This is the second series of the day that we have jumped into. And interested to see what Nice brings to the table. Definitely comes in as a favorite, but I was talking to Pig, and this happens to me all the time whenever I play in stuff as a commentator, as a streamer. Whenever I play in a tournament, people are always like, yo, can I cast your games? And I'm usually like, if it's a close matchup, I'll be like, yeah, sure, great, yeah, hell yeah. But sometimes when I know I'm gonna get stomped, I get a little bit nervous. I'm like, I guess you can cast it, but you know, I don't know if I'm gonna do super well. And I was like, yo, Pig, I can do a different match, but I'm like, yo, if you don't mind, I feel like people might enjoy seeing a little bit of this. And he said, well, I think if I click well enough, I should be able to pull a surprise upset. Now, of course, that's just Pig being very nice, but I am excited to see what he tries, because Pig's a funny guy, you know. He loves roaches, very handsome, wears glasses, if you don't know. He's that guy on the WCS desk that you watched last year that your mother said, hey, you need to find a nice guy like that. That's basically Pig in a nutshell. He's that guy that you meet on Tinder that you're like, I want to introduce you to my mother. But unfortunately, not all of us can meet people as wonderful as Sir Jared. Now, Nice. Gonna go for a Stargate opening. Went for the gate core Nexus. He's got everything set up, feeling fine. Chronoing out some adepts. Try and put pressure on it. Looks like he wants to go up to 3. So the first adept's gonna make his way over to the third base. A queen will pop. Pig is trying not to lose too much here. One drone pick off though is nice, and cleaning up a few of the Zerglings. If Nice can get that shade finished and escape, that will also be fantastic for him. So he's gonna try to run away and stay alive. We do have a couple of Zerglings making their way into the main base, though. Somehow, Pig managed to slip a few in there. And he's gonna get himself a cheeky probe. And pulling those workers off, too. Nice job, Jared. At least trying to put a little bit of pressure back on. This is always where it gets tough. You get a couple of adepts inside your main. The drones do die in one hit to the double adept combination. With a little bit of health regen, it takes 3 hits to kill. Oh, a misclick hits a larva. And Pig just drops 3 drones in exchange for killing 2 of the adepts. Now, I believe another one was made. It's at home. What exactly is going to happen with the Stargate shenanigans, though? The Oracle, where is it? It's coming out. It's right here. You're staring at it, Nate. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything else that came out of the Stargate before the Oracle. Because sometimes you lose track of time, you know? It's kind of like my dad taking us to Home Depot when I was 10 years old. Right? If the sun was up, you just say goodbye to it when you go in, because you know you're going to be in there looking at power tools for 4 hours. Anyway, Oracle shows up to the third. There are 2 queens, but the spore is not yet ready, so 2 drones picked off, and Nice is going to take some real damage onto the Oracle, which is going to make further attempts a little bit trickier. Takes another couple of big blows from that spore. 16 hit points remaining, actually. Quite nice. Quite nice there for... I just realized it's puns. It's puns all the way down. I can't use the word nice, but Nathan, you always use the word. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No one's here to go into a hysterical laughing fit. Miss you, Colaris. So Pig's getting his lair. He's getting his roach warren. What if he'll go for a cheeky Nidus with some roaches? Somebody asked, did Pig go random or Zerg? I believe Pig picked Zerg. I'll be honest with you, though, I was not paying attention to his race option in the menu. Yeah, I don't actually know, honestly. I'm not a good caster. Well, that's not true, Nathan. I mean, once the game started, you're doing fine. I'm not very good at doing the whole out of game thing, you know? Anybody else think that the Overlord with this skin and like that metal spine looks like, what's the bad guy from Power Rangers? Zed or something? I don't know. Not the EDM artist, the guy that basically just looks like his body's inside out. All that for an Overlord. Exciting times here at the El Royale. So Pig does have a couple of lings out on the map. As Nice has transitioned into quite a few adepts with this small Air Force. Now, mind you, there are no upgrades. He just has Warp Gate. So it's not like this is a Glaives push. This isn't going to be like your classic Neeb shenanigans where you'd be like, oh my god, Neeb's so cool with his lots of adepts. So let's see, as these adepts are going to come over towards the natural. They do have the support of the 3 oracles, which will make things quite tricky. He says, you know what? I'll throw my shades over to the main base. Use these adepts to kind of just fight against the queens because all of your lings are across the map. He did not actually build any roaches with the setup that he had. So Hydralisk N is coming. Roach speed is coming, but Pig has lost 9 drones now to the Protoss players, quote unquote, harass. I don't know if you can really call it harass, but yeah, quite a few more drones do die. We do have one Oracle that dies to support. Good target fire by Pig. Almost kills the second Oracle. But man, these adepts really lay a beat down on him. And he's got roaches coming out, but Nice's transition was the double robotics facility play, which is going to give him a lot of immortals. And I think I speak for everybody on planet Earth and in the Kaprulu sector. I'll just throw that out there as well when I say immortals are pretty good versus roaches. Yeah, they are. It's kind of like putting water down on a fire. Not an oil fire. Water is actually really bad for oil fires. But a regular fire, water's great against it. Kind of like immortals are versus roaches. Now, if the roaches are oiled, of course, everything gets weird because then the guts kind of splatter everywhere and they burn you. But I digress. I don't think there are any oil-based units in StarCraft 2 that could grease up a roach. But we do finally have that Warp Prism coming out with the 3rd Immortal. 5 gates being added, +1 charge. And this is where I start to get a little bit worried for Sir Jared because we've, you know, throughout the years, we've seen that the Hydralisk styles can be really good defensively, but more of like Hydraling Bane. And because of that pressure to get roaches from all the adepts early on, Pig finds himself in the awkward position of, yeah, he's got a good bit of Roach Hydra that's going to be out on the field soon. But if he's too roach heavy, these immortals are going to blow him to smithereens. And between you and me, guys, as he goes out here to try to take this 4th base, if he gets enough zealots, it's going to be really hard to actually keep those Hydralisks alive. It kind of turns into this balance of you need to make sure that the zealots are hitting the roaches, but you got to be careful about the immortals target firing them whenever possible. Having a few lings, even with an army like this, is not bad. These lings are going to get over to that 4th base. This is nice. You're pulling the army back home, especially since the prism is there. Cancellation on this 4th would be pretty sweet. You do not want to be on the same base count as a Protoss when you're playing Zerg. Overseer is going to go scout inside of the natural as well. We do have an infestation pit coming, and the lurker den is almost done. And I feel like for Pig, if there's a unit that can really slow down a ZvP and kind of create a situation where the Protoss will be more hesitant to push, or we'll try to stall it out a little bit longer, it would be the lurker tech option. Going into lurkers is such a anchor for the army, but the biggest problem with the lurker is that it doesn't really fulfill that job perfectly until you also have the upgrades for it, and he is so far away from those. I don't know how Pig is going to be able to stop Nice. He has a pretty good Hydralisk count. Those are going to be the best units in this army as long as the force fields aren't too good. Ravager Biles are coming down to open the gates for him. And it looks like Pig has actually managed to put out a pretty beefy force to try and stop this. Got to be careful about that bottom right chunk getting severed. This army only functions when it can all dive on top of the Protoss at once. There is the Prism, adding some reinforcements into this. There's still a lot of Hydras, but now that we're off creep, it's going to get a little more dangerous for Jared if he tries to retreat. He has a good concave around Nice, but there are 5 immortals still protected here by the Guardian Shield. Oracle's going to come a little bit forward to tank some of the damage. Overseer is giving the vision across the gap. Needs to get that War Prism out of the picture. The juggling has begun. The Prism with only 23 hit points is doing it, but it looks like Pig might actually have enough Hydralisks to clean all of this up. He cannot save all of the units here. That War Prism with just 16 health now does get pushed back, but at the same time, a Zealot counterattack knocks down Pig's 4th base. So I wanted to say a fantastic hold, but then you can see once the Zealots actually get onto the Hydras, they do kill them post-haste. And that's always going to be one of those big risks that you run, because you really just need to keep a few of the Immortals alive to remove the... Excuse me, you really just need to keep a few of the Immortals alive to remove the viability of Roaches. If you'd been able to get a Hive during this, I would feel a little bit more comfortable. Really getting the Lurker upgrades is like, that's the cash money play. Pig says, all right, I feel like I've got a lot of pressure on me to try and do something right now. Disruptors are not out yet. The first 2 are being built. There's no Psystorm. No, yeah, he got the Templar Archives just to build Archon. So no Psystorm, no Disruptors yet. He's going into Lurkers. This is a pretty big opportunity for Pig to try and come in and knock this 4th base down. This would be a fantastic grab. Without a lot of Lings, can't really try and get to the backside of where those probes are. But coming forward now, trying to bait him into a disadvantageous concave. First force fields are going to get dropped. Pig does have Lurkers out now. And that's, you see, a little bit of the Fear of God going to get put into Nice as this position becomes even more difficult to hold on to. He's looking for a money shot with the Disruptor shot, goes out, hits quite a few of the units and hurts 2 of the Lurkers, but Lurkers do take 2 Disruptor discs to blow up. So Pig is fighting back. However, he's taking a hit from some Zealots over at his rebuilt 4th. He did take both of these bases at a similar time, so he's not completely out of the woods yet, but is this army going to be able to get home? The Immortals, the Archons are coming, and that Disruptor's going to be able to shoot from the high ground. Canceling the shot's going to be quite hard. He gets nothing for it, though. Good reposition by Pig. What was that Disruptor shot? Nice. You trying to kill your own stuff? What's going on, my dude? Life is worth living, bro. Ay, ay, ay. That is a Changeling. Watch it die. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, well, Pig's getting the Hive now. And actually, I mean, this game doesn't seem completely out of hand. Protoss definitely has better economy, but I feel like Nice still has the advantage army-wise, only because the Hive is still far, right? We still have a significant amount of time before Pig can get the upgrade. Now, once Pig gets the upgrades for the Lurkers, the game can really start to turn on its head, because Lurkers, as good as they are, they only have 8 range. And they do take 2 seconds to burrow into the ground. And it sounds like, oh, Nate, well, 2 seconds. Like, what is that? But in StarCraft, when you're making hundreds of actions per minute, a second or 2 is a lifetime. And the burrow upgrade for the Lurkers, you absolutely need it to be able to reposition against armies like this. And also the range upgrade, because Disruptors are going to be a fantastic counter to the Lurkers before that range is done. He has an Observer. He's going to get the Lurkers on the left side, and he says, all right, you want to reposition these? Good luck, brother, because you don't have the upgrades that you need. Hive is just now finishing, and he's got 5 Disruptors over here. There's the first shot, goes straight into the heart of the Hydras, takes a huge chunk, and another one grabs just a single Roach. Hydra's flanking from the left, flanking from the right. We've got a big concave by the Zerg player, but it just might be too much here from Nice, as Pig has put up such a good fight. There's not a whole lot of meat to support the army, but unfortunately, Nice was just able to get that tech up. Pig's going to get 21 Hydralisks now. I still find myself, ooh, nice little jump there, nice little jump, but unfortunately that Hydra does, the Lurker, excuse me, does get picked off. But that's really just the hardest part about this, is once the Disruptor count gets high enough, it's so difficult to engage into this. He's not even landing the Disruptor hits, honestly. He's going to force a recall. I feel like Nice might have overextended there a little bit. If he had landed those Disruptor hits, I think Pig would have left the game. But because he didn't, Pig's like, oh crikey, mate, I've got myself my Lurker range coming in now. And all I got to do is buy myself a little bit of time, because Psystorm's not on the field. And this is, it's not a fun place to be. Opportunity there to grab some Archons was very real, because he actually just pulled everything over there. But just doesn't want to risk too much in this position yet. It's really nice. The 10 range Lurkers are going to be fantastic. Really, really important to get the 10 range Lurkers. And Vipers are going to be massively important, because even though he has access to Templar tech, he's not been using regular High Templar. He doesn't have Storm, and he doesn't have... Yeah, that means he doesn't have feedback, right? Because there's no High Templar there. Sorry, my brain's turning off for a second. He doesn't have everything he needs to actually deal with the Vipers. So the base count being the same, I think, is always going to be a problem for Zerg. If he can get cost efficient with the Lurkers, that would be really nice. You need to be careful with little forces like this. These Hydras are so expensive Losing the Overseer doesn't feel very good either, honestly. We have another Zealot run by heading towards the southwest. These guys have +3 attack. They are super chonklots. Gravitic Drive is going to come in for the Warp Prism Speed in a moment, and I love that. Just right-click on the hatch. Does he actually have enough to save it? Doesn't look like it. No, the army's just too far away because he's getting ready to hit the natural. But there's only 2 lurkers here. They do have the range upgrade, but they don't have the fast burrow. It doesn't really have an answer to the sheer number of disruptors and immortals that are over here. If Pig had been able to get the economy together to max out with this type of army, I really feel like he's got a big shot, but just fantastic unit retention by Nice. He tries to abduct. He does not get the right disruptor. Loses a massive amount of the Hydralisks. His 21 drones die. He's got Zealots hitting from the left. The main army pushing through on the right. He's going to throw those disruptor balls, kill all of the lurkers that are left. And Pig put up a good fight, but it was not enough. Nice takes game number 1.